Next order.
Order number 8, motion, adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2021 Budget Policy Statement and Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy Division.
For the division, I order that the bell be rung for 5 minutes.
Committee on the 2021 Budget Policy Statement and Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy, that the Senate adopts the report on the 2021 Budget Policy Statement and Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 24th February 2021, and pursuant to Section 25, Subsection 7 of the Public Finance Management Act and Standing Order 180, Subsection 7 of the Senate, approves the 2021 Budget Policy Statement. The debate on this has already been concluded. The senators have had their say, and shortly they will be voting to affirm that particular position. Thereafter, the senators will proceed to debate the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020. This bill is courtesy of the nominated Senator Dr. Agnes Zani. The debate on this bill already began before it was interrupted on 17th February 2021. The businesses which the Senate will be
the first motion for voting, I would like to inform members that we are going to vote 4 times. And our honorable senators who are online, please be patient with us. We'll move very fast. It's going to be roll call, and it will be very, very fast. Honorable senators, it will be fast. If we are patient, we'll move very, very fast. And the first one is the motion on the adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget for the 2021 Budget Policy Statement and Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy. I will now put the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2021 Budget Policy Statement and Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 24th February 2021, and pursuant to Section 25(7) of the Public Finance Management Act and Standing Order 187 of the Senate, approved the 2021 Budget Policy Statement. It's by roll call, so clerk, start.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma, Isiolo County.
Sorry, can we have Senator Pareno and Senator Faria as our tellers, please? Thank you.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes.
Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherarike Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County. Senator Cheruiyot Aaron Kipkurui, Kericho County.
I vote yes.
Senator Harigura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Marakai Charles Ekal, Turukana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret, Uasin Gishu County.
I vote yes.
Senator
On Zoom? Kangata was online. Please vote. Okay, let's continue. You'll come later.
Senator Hanir George, Vihiga County.
Thank you.
Senator Kibiru Charles, Kirinyaga County.
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County.
We have Senator Brenge.
I vote yes.
Senator Kimani wa Matangi, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bometi County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Lelewe Steve Tumbesi, Samburu County. Senator Linturi Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Annual, Lamu County. Senator Masayo Stewart, Kilifi County. Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County.
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Senator Malala Cleophas Wakungu, Kakamega County.
I vote yes on behalf of Kakamega delegation.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County.
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Senator Moi Gideon Kipsielei, Baringo County. Senator Mupayei Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Onesimus Kipuchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County. Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
I vote yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwasushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Mwinyi Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County. Senator Ongeri Samson, Kisii County. Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pogisho Samuel, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson, Nairobi County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator wako Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County.
Yeah, we can go back to Elgeyo Marakwet.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County.
Yeah, let's go to Elgeyo Marakwet.
Senator Murkomen Kipchumba, Irregular Marakwet County.
Thank you. Did we have a vote from Chair K? There was another noise that was not clear. And Kangata? Okay.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County.
He is online. I don't know what the problem is. Senator Kangata, please vote. Senator Kangata, we are waiting for you to vote. He's given some peace sign. No. Do we have enough? Thank you, Kangata. Okay, please be patient. We are going to continue so that we make pronouncement of all the votes at the same time. So we'll move to the next order. Next order.
Order number 9. Yes. Order number 9, the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020, second reading division.
Thank you. I will read all of them and we'll vote for all of them. Then I'll announce all the results at the same time so that we move faster. So the tallying can continue. Honorable Senators, the next vote is on the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020. I now put the question that the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020 be now read a second time. Roll call voting.
Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
I vote yes.
Okay, we are starting the second voting, and remember, members, voting is part of our House business, so please stand on your feet according to standing order number 86. Rise to your feet and vote. Thank you.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma, Isiolo County.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes.
Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherarike Samson, Nandi County. Senator Cheruyot Aaron, Kericho County.
Senator Cheruyot, you are online. Please vote.
Senator Irregular Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Marakai Charles, Turkana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret, Uasin Gishu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County.
Senator Kangata, we're waiting for you.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
I vote yes.
Thanks.
Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County. Senator Kibiru Charles, Kirinyaga County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County.
Prenge?
I vote yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
I vote yes.
Senator Lelewe Steve Tumbesi, Samburu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwal, Lamu County. Senator Mazayo Stewart, Kilifi County. Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County.
I vote yes.
Senator Malala Kilofas, Kakamega County.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
I vote yes.
Thanks, we have heard you.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mbogo George Ochiro Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Moi Gideon, Baringo County. Senator Mpayei Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Senator Murkomen?
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Senator Mwangi Paul Withiomi, Nyandarua County.
Yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Masushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Mwaruma Jones Masushe, Taita Taveta County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Mwinyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County. Senator Ungeri Samson, Kisii County. Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pogisho Samuel, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson, Nairobi City County.
I vote yes.
Senator Wako Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County.
Yes.
Senator Wetangura Moses, Bungoma County.
Okay, we shall move to the next one, next order.
Order number 10, motion, adoption of reports of the Sessional Committee on County Public Accounts and Investments on audit reports for county executives for financial years 2015-2016, 2016-2017, and 2017-2018, volumes 1, 2, and 3.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question that this House adopts the reports of the Sessional Committee on the County Public Accounts and Investments on the consideration of the audit reports of the following county executives for the financial years 2015-2016, 2016-2017, and 2017-2018, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, the 11th February 2021. Volume 1, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Homa Bay, Kakamega, and Kiambu. Volume 2, Kisii, Mandera, Mombasa, Taita Taveta, Kilifi. Volume 3, Garissa, Wajir, Narok, Kericho, Lamu. Division will be by roll call. Thank you.
Senator Adan Dulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
Vote when I'm seated. I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County. Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes.
Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County.
I vote yes.
Senator Cherari K. Samson, Kiprotich, Nandi County. Senator Cheriot Aaron, Kipkurui, Kericho County. Senator Harigura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Malakai Charles Ekal, Turukana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret, Uasin Gishu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you. We have heard you.
Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Thank you.
Senator Kibiru Charles, Kirinyaga County.
Kirinyaga votes yes.
Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County.
Senator Bronge for Nakuru.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher, Bomet County.
I vote yes.
Senator Lelewe Steve Tumbesi, Samburu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Mithika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Annual, Lamu County. Senator Mazayo Stewart, Kilifi County. Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County.
I vote yes.
Senator Malala Cleophas Wakungu, Kakamega County.
Yes, Senator Musuruve is voting for Kakamega.
Madam Speaker, on behalf of Kakamega delegation, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Mbogo George Ochiro Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Moi Gideon, Baringo County. Senator Mpayei Philip, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
Murkomen was online.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mwaluma Jones Mwasushe, Taita Taveta County.
Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mwinyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County. Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County. Senator Ongeri Samson, Kisii County. Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pogisho Samuel, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson, Nairobi City County.
I vote yes.
Senator Wako Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wetangura Moses, Bungoma County.
Thank you, Senators. Next order.
Order number 11, motion, adoption of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Early Childhood Education Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question that this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the consideration of the Early Childhood Education Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, the 18th February 2021, and pursuant to Articles 113 of the Constitution and the Standing Order 1613 of the Senate Standing Orders, approved the mediated version of the bill. Division is by roll call, and members, I want to remind you again that according to roll call voting, Standing Order 83.5, that when called out, each senator shall thereupon rise in his feet or her place and declare assent or dissent. I've realized that the younger members of this House are sitting down when the older ones are standing. Please let's follow our standing orders. Thank you.
Senator Adan Duro Fatuma, Isiolo County.
I vote yes.
Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes.
Senator Boy Isa Juma, Kwale County. Senator Cherargei Samson, Nandi County. Senator Cheruyot Aaron, Kericho County. Senator Harigura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Imana Malakai Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kamar Margaret, Uasin Gishu County.
I vote yes.
Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County. Senator Kangata Irungu, Murang'a County.
Senator Kangata, if you can hear us, please vote.
Senator Haniri George.
I vote yes. I vote yes.
Thank you, we have heard you.
Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Madam Speaker, if you can hear me, I vote yes.
Thank you, we have heard you.
Senator Kibiru Charles, Kirinyaga County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kihika Susan, Nakuru County.
Senator Brange.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kimani Wamatangi, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Kindiki Kithure, Tharaka-Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim, Mwangi Maina, Nyeri County. Senator Langat Christopher, Bomet County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Lelewe Steve Tumbesi, Samburu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Linturi Minthika, Meru County. Senator Loitiptip Anwal, Lamu County. Senator Mazayo Stewart, Kilifi County. Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Malim, Mandera County.
I vote yes.
Senator Malala Kilofas, Kakamega County.
On behalf of Kakamega delegation, I vote yes.
Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County.
Yep.
Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you, we have heard you.
Senator Moi Gideon, Baringo County. Senator
Thank you.
Senator Mpayei Philip Salau, Kajiado County. Senator Murkomen Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwasushe, Taita Taveta County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you, we've heard you.
Senator Mwinyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you.
Senator Nderitu John Kinywa, Laikipia County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Thank you, we have heard you.
Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County. Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County. Senator Ongeri Samson, Kisii County. Senator Orengo James, Siaya County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Pogisho Samuel, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Sakaja Johnson, Nairobi City County.
I vote yes.
Senator Wako Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enoch, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes.
Senator Wetangura Moses, Bungoma County.
Thank you, Senators. That brings us to the end of the voting. I will now announce the results starting from the first one.
And budget on the adoption of the report of the committee on the 2021 budget policy statement and medium-term debt management strategy. They've also voted on the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020.
The report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2021 budget policy statement and medium-term debt management strategy laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 24th February 2021. The votes are as follows. The ayes 28, the nays 0. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senators. Senators, the next one, which was the next one is the votes on the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020, second reading. The votes, the ayes 28, the nays 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Cooperative Societies Act and for connected purposes.
Thank you. The next one, Honorable Senators, is the that the House adopts reports on the sessional committee on the county public accounts and investment on audit, reports for the county executives for the financial years 2015, 2016, 2016, 2017, and 2017, 2018, volumes 1, 2, and 3. The votes are the ayes 28, nays 0. The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, the last vote that you took was on the motion that this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Early Childhood Education Bill, Senate Bills number 26 of 2018. The ayes were 30, the nays 0. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senators. That's a job well done. We have cleared 4 votes this afternoon. Next order.
Order number 12, motion, adoption of report of the Sessional Committee on County Public Accounts and Investments on audit reports for county executives for financial year 2014-2015, that is 1st July 2014 to 30th June 2015.
Honorable Senators, this motion had been proposed, and Senator Arkura Godana was in the process of seconding when we rose, when the House rose. He has 16 minutes to complete seconding. So Senator Hargura Kodana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to second the motion on the adoption of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee report. On auditor's report for County Executive for financial year 2014 to 15. And Madam Speaker, as a Senate, we oversight the national revenue allocated to the county governments under Article 96(3) of the Constitution. And also we examine the auditor's reports on the annual accounts of the counties. And this committee happened to be the avenue through which the Senate carries out its oversight reports on the oversight on the county funds by scrutinizing the auditor's report. Madam Speaker, the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee had examined the auditor's reports, and the previous sessional committee had actually done a fiduciary report from the county audit reports of 2013, 2014 to 2015, 2016, and came up with a report which highlighted the fiduciary risk areas and which was tabled on the floor of this House in June 2019 and which was adopted by the House. Madam Speaker, for this particular report, the 2014-15, which was the second year of the evolution, there are issues which are clearly not being taken up by the county government in terms of getting into management of public resources, and which unfortunately are still recurring, even if you look at the just past reports which were tabled by the County Public Accounts Investment Committee, which went up to 2017-18, still the same issues were recurring. And among the issues which are in this report are the issue of not adhering to the budgets. You have counties have approved budgets, which are approved by the county assembly, but when the governors are implementing their budgets, you'll find they are expended outside the budgets. Items which have not been approved in the budgets are found to have been undertaken and funds allocated to them. That is operating outside the budget, which is occurring almost across the counties, while the requirement would have been if there was any change or priorities, then the executive should have submitted the budget back to the county assembly through a supplementary budget and had a new budget approved so that they can now implement the new activities which have become a priority along the way. But that has not been done. Another area which has been highlighted by this report and which is still recurring is an area of pending bills. Counties have incurred pending bills by the first financial year of devolution. The counties had a pending bill of 62.8 billion. But by the second year, which is now being addressed by this report, the pending bills have increased to 108.9 billion. So the issue is, what is the source of these pending bills? One source has been addressed in these reports as being under collection of their own source revenue. Counties set their own targets when they are budgeting. For example, a county will say in this financial year, we have a target of 200 million Kenya shillings to raise as own source revenue, but they don't meet that target. And that target that is what has been put in the budget. If they raise 100 million, that will automatically mean they will have 100 million under-sourced in their budget, and if items are expended, then that means that that 100 million will be pending bill. But that is not enough. That's not only where they are generating the pending bills. There is the issue of undertaking works which have not been, or expenditures which have not been approved in the budget. That will become a pending bill because it was not budgeted for. And under normal circumstances, you will find that the national government could be generating pending bills because their funds lapse at the end of financial year. But in case of county governments, it doesn't lapse. Whatever has been approved under the county allocation of revenue here will have to be delivered to the counties by the National Treasury. Even if the year lapses and some funds are outstanding, it's normally carried forward as pending bills, it's rebudgeted, and whatever has not been paid for will be paid for, and it should not be recurring to the next year. But in this case, it's recurring. There is also the issue of under-collection, that under-collection of on-source revenue. One, what these reports indicate is that counties are actually collecting less than what the local authorities they have inherited have been collecting. But the counties have more resources, they have more manpower to collect more. So it's not true that they are under-collecting. Actually, it could be a case of under-reporting. It could be a case of maybe what we have discovered is when it's not automated, you'll find the collectors in the field, revenue collectors having several sets of receipts where they give you a receipt, but money is not actually reflected in the county account because that receipt is not from the county. So there's that one. Then there's also the issue of spending at source where the county-owned revenue is not deposited in the CRF account as required by law, so that whatever you collect, you deposit, and it's reverted back to you from the CRF account, you'll get now the authority to expend through the control of budget. Counties have been spending at source, and that revenue is not reflected in the CRF account, so it appears as under collection. So that one, I think the counties have been advised accordingly, but it's still recurring even in the previous engagements we had with the county executives. This is still recurring. But one way of sorting out is making sure that they first analyze all the possible revenue sources, come up with a realistic target, then automate and make sure that they collect as much as possible what they have estimated to be their revenue. That way they will not have pending bills because they will only spend what they have estimated. Madam Speaker, the other aspect is irregular procurement of goods and services, which is still recurring even up to now, where counties use single sourcing. You'll find non-pre-qualified contractors are given goods to supply or activities to undertake. There is a challenge in bookkeeping. You'll find auditors will go to audit a particular project, and you will find records are not there. There is also the aspect of not providing information to the auditors, which is contrary to the Public Audits Act 2015. And this is also a cross-cutting issue. You'll find in almost all counties what actually the executives come to address when they come before the County Public Account and Investment Committee is to produce those records. So the first question will have been, where were these records when the auditors came for them? And it's a requirement that you have to provide them with all the records at the first instance. It's also not one instance because the engagement is not a one-off. An auditor will come in, they will have the engagement, the entry meetings. Then once they are through with the audit, they'll have the exit meetings. They will have management letters where they'll write back to the county executive stating this is what we have found out, this is the information which we expect from you. Then until it goes into a draft audit report, there is enough time to engage. So when the executive cannot provide, when the governors cannot provide this information after all these engagements, and then they come to provide to the Senate committee, then it leaves a lot of questions. Where were all this information that time? Why was it not provided on time? Madam Speaker, there is also the issue of weak human resource management, where the staff recruitment is done without following any procedure. You will find somebody is on the payroll, but how that person was employed is not clear. Maybe there was no advertisement, there was no shortlisting, there was no long listing, no shortlisting, no the interview results and all that. You'll just find somebody's file has an appointment letter. So these are very unprocedural ways of engaging staff. There is failure to recruit qualified persons. Then you have a capacity challenge. We have been hearing from the counties whenever you ask them, why didn't you provide this information on time? Capacity challenge. Capacity where you had the opportunity to employ the right person, the right qualified person who could perform that duty. Then there is also the issue of irregular remuneration or compensation of the staff without following the SRC circulars. So you'll find somebody is remunerated without following the required SRC circular. It just depends on your relationship maybe with the governor or something like that, because it doesn't follow any procedure. In some cases, by this time, the second year of devolution, counties did not have established staff policy, and also there are weak internal controls because they didn't have policies like the human resource policy, the ICT policy, risk management policies and all that. But as we have checked, in the last engagement we had, at least there is improvement in that area because policies are being developed and approved by the county assemblies for most of them. There is also lack of updated asset register. This is a major issue because, Madam Speaker, counties have inherited the defunct local authorities. These local authorities had both fixed and movable assets and liabilities, of course. But it has become difficult for the counties to have proper asset registers in terms of maybe land, offices, and such fixed assets, and also the movable ones like vehicles and all that. So it took time, but now the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee has finally come up with the asset registers, and it was for the counties to verify them and also have them quantified and also valued, so that we have a valued asset register. There's also the issue of own acquired assets, which the county governments will have acquired, and also they need to have it registered in a particular format. By the time of this report, that format has not been agreed on. But sometimes early last year, Treasury gave a format for the counties to adopt, and now they're adopting it. So, Madam Speaker, I would like to second the adoption of this motion, and hope that the members will support, and these reports should be made use of so that counties can learn from them. And also the report has recommendations on actions to be taken against the government officers who have maybe caused this mismanagement in terms of if it's not following the procurement procedures, if it's not following the requirements of adhering to the budgets, not having the necessary policies. The report is very clear and it's recommended. The recommendations which need to be action which needs to be taken is just a matter of making sure that these reports are implemented, because if there are no implementations of these recommendations, so it just becomes an academic exercise, and the counties will not be able to progress and also improve in terms of their financial prudence, in terms of management of public resources. And that is the only way is to have actions taken against those who are liable, and that way it will be a learning process and will continue to improve. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second the motion.
Asante sana. Na sasa nataka kupendekeza swala kwamba hili jumba la Seneti liweze kuidhinisha ripoti ya kamati ya uhasibu wa umma na uwekezaji ambao umeangazia ripoti za uhasibu za kaunti za Bomet, Homa Bay, Isiolo, Kakamega, Kiambu, Laikipia, Kisumu, Mandera, Migori, Mombasa, Murang'a, Nandi, Nyeri, Samburu, Siaya, Tana River, Tharaka Nithi, Trans Nzoia, Turkana na Wajir kwa miaka ya 2014-15 kutoka mwaka tarehe 1 Julai mwaka 2014 mpaka tarehe 30 Juni mwaka 2015, ambayo umewekwa kwenye meza rasmi ya bunge la Seneti Alhamisi tarehe 18 Februari mwaka 2021. Seneta wa Homa Bay, Seneta Moses Kajwang'. Ya, una nafasi ya kuchangia.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion that the House do adopt the report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee with regards to the report on the Auditor General's opinions and findings on county governments for those financial years that have been stated. And Mr. Speaker, as I contribute on this, I want to take note that this report that is before the House, it bears my name. It was done when I was chairing the Public Accounts Committee, when I had that singular privilege and honor to lead this House in its oversight arrangements. And Mr. Speaker, The only reason why this report did not come to the House alongside the other reports that we tabled back then, I think it was just an issue of scheduling, because the report was ready. And I want to thank the committee that is chaired by Senator Professor Ngeri for making sure that this report was extracted from the shelves and brought to the House for adoption. Because we know that the finality of the Auditor General's report is when the House has adopted them. Before they're adopted, there's been a lot of debate whether the findings of the Auditor General can be used in a court of law, or can be used to seek justice, or can be used in any other judicial process to ensure that people are held to account. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the committee because we started seeing reports that are running up to 2018. And there's been a lot of concern that the Senate has been in backlog for a long time. I do recall that prior to 2018, the House had never adopted a single report of the Public Accounts Committee. And I thank the team that is in the committee at the moment that they've built on the reports that my committee brought to the House and brought very current reports. And I do believe that the 2019 reports, which have now come to Parliament following the appointment of a substantive Auditor General, will also be considered quickly. Kenyans want to deal with current issues. Kenyans don't like dealing with past issues, even though, as I say, crime does not expire. And so if someone stole from the public, if someone pilfered county funds in 2013, when devolution was just beginning, let them not think that by the mere fact that the Auditor General has a report for 2019, those sins shall go unpunished. I want to assure the public that if there are projects where you feel that there was no justice, there was no fiscal justice, where you feel that your views were not taken into consideration, where you feel that projects were supposed to have been implemented and they ended up being ghost projects, those public officers shall be held accountable. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but it shall happen with certainty as long as this Senate exists. Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that as we speak, we have not reconstituted the Public Accounts and Investments Committee. That delay is unnecessary, that delay is inordinate, and that delay really disrupts the flow and the work of the Public Accounts Committee, because you can clearly see that the first quarter of the year is almost gone. And last year we lost almost 2 quarters before we reconstituted that committee. And I want to urge, as we have proposed before, that let us adopt our standing orders to ensure that there's continuity in the operations of sessional committees until a new committee is put in place. Because there's nobody who's going to come from outside this House who is going to form part of those committees. All the members who can potentially be members of those sessional committees are already here. So what is required is quick decisions, and if there's a problem in making decisions, let us just ensure that the sessional committee, as constituted in the last session by some special resolution, continues to work until the leadership of the House decides on the change of leadership. Mr. Speaker, the report that we are discussing today was part of the Fiduciary Risk Report that was adopted by the House. If you do recall, the Fiduciary Risk Report, we brought it so that we could see the forest. The Auditor General submits a lot of reports to the House. Every year, the Auditor General brings 47 reports for county executives, 47 for county assemblies, 47 for car loan and mortgage funds, and 47 for any other additional fund that might have been established in the county. Every year, on average, the Auditor General will bring reports that are 200 plus. And yet, this is a 60-member House, and sometimes it is impossible for the Senate to consider all those reports on an annual basis. It is different at county assemblies, because a county assembly will receive at a minimum 4 reports in a year, 1 for the executive, 1 for the assembly, and maybe 2 for the special funds that they've established. As a result, it was important to aggregate the findings of the Auditor General and come up with a fiduciary risk report, and that we did. Mr. Speaker, the fiduciary risk report indicated that in the first 3 years of devolution, the Auditor General had queried 298 billion, expenditure close to 298 billion. If you take that as a percentage of the funds that have been allocated to counties, that would tell you that in those first 3 years, probably 1/3 of the funds that were sent to counties could not be properly accounted for. That is a disaster, if indeed it is to be established to be true. Mr. Speaker, the amount that was queried, if you put it in context, was enough to build 9 Thika roads. With 298 billion, you can do a lot. In fact, 298 billion, what the Parliamentary Budget Office told us, that if that money was invested properly in the economy, in the productive sectors of the economy, it could lead to at least 5% growth of the economy. So that's the kind of loss, potential loss, that we have out of these accountability queries. It happened that some of the issues that the Auditor General had flagged were issues that could have been satisfied with documentation. And it is wrong for governors to refuse to give documents to Auditor General and then come to the Senate with truckload of documents. The intention is to confuse, to perplex, and to put the Senate in a situation where it will just clear the audit queries. I want to emphasize that the place for primary oversight still remains the county assemblies. And we must ensure that our laws are tailored in such a way that even the governor is accountable to the people residing in the county through the county assembly. There have been some jurisprudence that has made the governor too big to appear before county assemblies. In fact, in the recent past, governors only appear before county assemblies when they have an impeachment hanging over their necks. It should be normal. We should normalize that governors should be able to appear before the county assembly. This business of hiding behind CECs, this business of hiding behind chief officers must be brought to a stop. The person who went and got a mandate and the person who should be held responsible as the CEO of the county is the governor. And if we activated those provisions, and I'm glad that BBI has made certain provisions that will make that possible, that will make the governor accountable to the people through the county assembly, and the governor would be required to appear before the county assembly, it will leave the Senate with policy work. It will leave the Senate to come up with solutions, policy, legislative, and administrative solutions to the challenges that are facing county governments. And so, Mr. Speaker, we must do all we can to empower our brothers and sisters in county assemblies to effectively carry out their oversight role, because that is where the real evidence and the primary oversight would occur. I would visualize that the Senate would particularly focus on value for money audits. Mr. Speaker, the Audit Act allows financial audits like what we are discussing now. It allows forensic audits. It allows performance audits and other value for money audits. Ever since the Senate was established, the Auditor General has performed a few performance audits. And I think there was one that he did about mental health that would be of great benefit to Senator Kasanga, and a few others. But we are not yet in a position where, as a Senate, we sit with the Office of the Auditor General and agree that this particular financial year, we want you to carry out a performance audit, for example, on the managed equipment scheme. Or we want you to carry out a performance audit on the roads maintenance levy fund. Mr. Speaker, just this afternoon, we have adopted the budget policy statement. And that budget policy statement proposes a policy shift such that allocations that are being collected from taxpayers for maintenance of roads, called Road Maintenance Levy Fund, and then sent to counties as a conditional grant, will no longer be sent to counties as a conditional grant, will now form part of equitable share. Mr. Speaker, the risk is that, number one, you are collecting money from Kenyans on false pretense, because you are telling every road user, anybody who buys fuel, that a percentage of the money you spend will be spent on improving the roads that you drive on, so that the wear and tear on your car can reduce. And then you bring that money to counties, 15% of that money, you make it part of general budget support. Mr. Speaker, I think even as we process the Division of Revenue and the County Allocation of Revenue Act, we should make it clear that such a policy shift should not be undertaken until the Auditor General has carried out an assessment on the performance of that fund in counties. If we are going to make that fund part of equitable share, accounting for those monies is going to be impossible. Mr. Speaker, we should sit with the Auditor General, go beyond the road maintenance levy fund, and even demand a performance audit of some of those other conditional grants that go to counties. We have the Kenya Urban Support Program, Kenya Devolution Support Program. Every year, these monies are going to counties, and in some counties, we can see visible signs of work. We see cab roads being erected. We see some markets being built. But what are the accountability mechanisms for conditional grants in this republic? We should be able to talk to the Auditor General and recommend to the Auditor General to carry out a performance audit on investments in agriculture and how they relate to the international treaties and obligations that Kenya has signed up for. That should be the role and position of the Senate, looking at the devolved functions under the 4th schedule and finding a way of making sure that there's effective service delivery in counties, not finding out how many pins were bought and whether those pins were accompanied by delivery notes. Mr. Speaker, for us to achieve this, and I do recall when we visited the National Council of State Legislatures in the United States, and I was privileged to be in the company of the Speaker of this House, we saw how state legislatures in the United States do it. We have a parliamentary budget office, which I think has done a great job in helping members of parliament to understand and be part of the budget process. Our PBO is one of the best. And when I talk to people outside parliament, people in academia, the ladies and gentlemen who sit in that parliamentary budget office, they have the respect of economists and experts outside. It is time that we also established a Senate Oversight Office or a Parliamentary Audit Office. Just the same way members of parliament are not experts in budget issues, is the same way members of parliament are not experts when it comes to audit. A Parliamentary Audit Office would have that singular duty of making sure that they assess all these reports from the Auditor General, coming up with a fiduciary risk report, making sure that we schedule our performance and value for money audits, and making sure that when we get these reports and audits, Parliament is able to consider and process them in a meaningful manner. Again, Mr. Speaker, the implementation of our recommendations, we need to rethink the strategy. In the last Parliament, we had a separate implementation committee, which would take the resolutions of the House and the resolutions of various committees and follow them through. Today, once you adopt this report, it will be the responsibility of the Public Accounts Committee, which is not yet constituted, to follow up implementation. Mr. Speaker, when I was chair and when the House adopted several reports, the clerk of the House immediately wrote to various stakeholders, requesting them to provide a report on the measures they have taken within 3 months to close the issues raised by the Senate. To date, I do not believe that we have received a response as a Senate. We must tighten our implementation capacity. But there are agencies that really do not need to wait for Senate to go through this process for 5 years. For example, Mr. Speaker, once the Auditor General has determined that there was no value for money, that there were unexplained expenditure, why should the DCI or the EACC wait for the Senate to conduct a 5-year ritual? Why can't they swing into action? We must empower these institutions so that they can be proactive. We must empower them so that they can have linkages with the Office of the Auditor General in real time. In fact, there is nowhere that they are required to wait until the report of the Auditor General is published and brought to the House, debated and adopted. They can form collaboration networks. Using technology, they can share, create visibility on some of the risks that exist in counties so that they can take real-time initiatives. Mr. Speaker, we must revive our monitoring and evaluation ideas because if we continue looking at reports 5 years down the line, then we will be the morticians who operate on dead bodies. We will not be the physicians that Kenyans want us to be. This morning, Mr. Speaker, we had a conversation with the Council of Governors and its new leadership. They told me that as at 30th of June 2020, Kenyans are owed 113 billion by county governments. 113 billion. The report you are adopting today has a lower figure, Today, 113 billion money that should be in the pockets of Kenyans, money that should be used to pay taxes, is sitting with the government. No wonder this economy is dying. We are becoming a wheelbarrow economy, a mkokoteni economy, and yet government is keeping money meant for citizens in its pocket. Mr. Speaker, of the 113 billion, 78 billion relates to Nairobi City County. And we thought we had solved the problem. We thought that it was easy, get one joker out and bring another joker in, and then all our problems would be sorted out. 78 billion is still owed. So between the general and between whoever it is who is running Nairobi City County, let us release this money. Let this money go to citizens. Because every day, there is no single day you do not collect taxes from us in form of parking fees. There is no single day you are not collecting money from women or mothers in Gikomba. Collect that money, use it to pay these pending bills, rather than using it to do things that just satisfy the ego. If I was given a choice, Mr. Speaker, between settling the 78 billion pending bills owed by Nairobi City and putting Cabro in the CBD, I would first pay the private sector and entrepreneurs their money before I do the Cabro. Mr. Speaker, the Treasury has also delayed to give counties money, and we resolved in the morning that in the next 2 weeks we shall summon the Treasury before the committee of the House to explain why 36 billion Kenya shillings has not been remitted to counties, why 4.6 billion Kenya shillings under the Kenya Devolution Support Program has not been given to county governments, why 2.8 billion Kenya shillings under the Kenya Urban Support Program has not been sent to county governments, because this is part of the explanation for the pending bills. But even if it were the explanation, the total amount unremitted is far much less than the pending bills that the county governments are keeping in their books. There must be the final audit, an audit of finality. And I do agree with the Council of Governors who have proposed that the Office of the Auditor General do a final audit, because the last audit that was done by Edward Ouko, the former Auditor General, raised more questions than answers. It told us that such a huge percentage of our pending bills were unverified. Finally, Mr. Speaker, policy on conditional grants. We have a lot of money going to counties, level 5 hospitals, roads, devolution support program, county headquarters. We don't have a proper framework for their oversight. Let this report that we have adopted and the reports that we have just voted on a few hours ago, let it form a basis for us to consolidate our thinking. Let it be the basis upon which the Senate stops focusing on counting pins and pens and paper and rims and sheets of foolscap in counties. Let it be the basis that informs us to amend the law, to come up with policy, to come up with regulation that ensures that when monies are sent to counties, that money does not find its way in the pockets and stomach and whatever other body parts of the governors and the people in counties. That money goes to the citizens. But I want to hail the majority of staff in our counties who are doing an exemplary job, working with integrity, with diligence, the health workers. I want to hail those frontline workers who have kept this country protected, safe, and healthy during the COVID pandemic, and who sometimes have to go to work without having received their salary, who sometimes have to go to hospitals to work in situations where there are no drugs and adequate facilities. These are the true heroes of this republic. And this is the reason why devolution exists, so that these true heroes can have their aspirations fulfilled. But the entrepreneurs, the businessmen in Homa Bay, Migori, Kiambu, everywhere else, who are owed by county governments, it is sad that the same people, we are making them go to court, spend more money on litigation, so that the government can pay them after having rendered service. I believe, Mr. Speaker, that this Senate collectively and the public account.
Kindly add him about 3-4 minutes to finish the idea.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, if there is one great contribution we can make to this nation, to the economy of this country, to the entrepreneurs, to the young people who are doing business with county governments through the access to government procurement opportunities, to the women and the persons with disabilities who have supplied goods and services to county governments and have not been paid to the tune of 113 billion. Mr. Speaker, I believe is a resolution that will compel county governments, working with the Office of the Auditor General and the Controller of Budget, to finalize this matter of pending bills. We have governors proud and bragging that they've paid all the pending bills in their jurisdictions, and yet all what they paid was only a small fraction. We have governors who are questioning bills in their counties, governors who've been in office since 2013. They created the mess, and now they are capitalizing on that mess to deny Kenyans their hard-earned payments. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the Public Accounts Committee that will be reconstituted to make this their primary agenda, how to ensure that the 113.6 billion owed to Kenyans as at 30th June 2020 is released from the government coffers and goes to the pockets of citizens and taxpayers. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Asante sana kwa kuchangia kwingi ambako umejieleza vizuri sana. Aliyekuwa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya uhasibu na uwekezaji wa umma, na nakubaliana na wewe kwamba lazima tuwe na afisi maalum ya uhasibu ya bunge, na ni vizuri nikujulishe Mheshimiwa Senator wa Homa Bay na mwenyekiti wangu wa kamati ya ugatuzi kwamba nina mswada tayari ambao unatengenezwa ambao unaitwa kwa kimombo Parliamentary Audit Office Bill, lakini shida iliyopo ni kwamba wale ambao ni watunzi wa sheria ambao wanatusaidia kuiandika ile sheria kuitunga yenyewe walikuwa nafikiri itakuwa ni kama ni afisi ya uhasibu ya tume ya bunge. Kwa hiyo wakafikiri kana kwamba ni wao wakuja kuangaliwa hesabu za kwao, lakini kwa kweli ukiwa na wizara 20 na taasisi zaidi ya 200 na pia serikali gatuzi 47 na taasisi zake, ni vigumu sana kwa mbunge yeyote ama seneta kuweza kutathmini zile ripoti na kufanya kazi sawia, na hili ni jambo la muhimu kupigana na ufisadi. Namuona Seneta Ochilo George Mbogo Ayako, sijui kama yupo aliyekuwa waziri wangu na ambaye alichukua kiti cha naibu wa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya bajeti. Karibu.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am happy that you remember our times together. The times when you were a very vibrant young man, and because of your vibrance, Mr. Speaker was able to identify you and give you an opportunity to serve Kenyans. I've never looked back, I've never been disappointed. I wish you well in the path you have taken. It may be untrodden, but it's only courageous people who follow such paths. Now, I want to thank the Senator for Homa Bay, my brother Moses Kajwang. Today I said that we belong to the species of fish. Kajwang and I are fishermen, fisher folks, and also fish. In fact, we understand the fish very well, that when I say so, somebody who is my neighbor got bemused. In the villages that we come from, every market, every mama mboga is a seller of omena, is a vendor of one fish or the other, or one species of fish or the other. And if there is no supply, then we disenfranchise and render jobless and unemployed all the females who vendor or who actually hawk things in our markets in the entire western region. So fish is a good thing. I encourage all Kenyans to eat fish. The doctors say it is good, particularly fish from Homa Bay and Migori. The one from Migori is, Migori has a place called Miuru Bay and Sori Bay, and the takawiri we were talking about. The fish is the most delicious. Mr. Speaker, having made those preliminary remarks, being from the tribe of fish, let me embark on this one. This report of the Public Accounts Committee that was chaired by Senator Kajwang was well done. It was a report that should be implemented. In fact, it ought to have been implemented as early as the time that it was being done. But there is a trend that is gaining currents, a trend that is becoming part of our behavior, thinking that the work of Senate, the work of Parliament is just to write reports. Mr. Speaker, there is a description of certain watchdogs that is called Supreme Audit Institution. Supreme Audit institutions are institutions among which the family of the Auditor General falls, and they are very integral to accountability, transparency, and all matters related to good governance. And they perform a very professional job on behalf of citizenry. They audit, engage public institutions like counties, like state departments and state organs, and find out how well, how lawfully, and how effectively the public funds placed under their charge was used for the benefit of the public. But it does appear that the primacy, the prominence, the importance of those institutions are just anchored in the Constitution, but not in our belief, not in our practice, and not in the way that we implement law. This is a very unfortunate situation, and because it is the one that initiates, or those institutions initiate the primary oversight by carrying out the audits, which audit reports are brought to Senate. Senate, National Assembly, and other institutions like County Assembly are also treated the same. We have also, unfortunately, fallen into the trap of treating ourselves that way. If you look at a study that was carried out by World Bank on effectiveness of the oversight functions of Parliament, you will notice that for Parliament to be effective, for the oversight functions to be effective, the parliamentarians must take their work seriously. If we do such a brilliant and beautiful report like the one that was done under the tenure of Senator Kajwang, and the House is empty, nobody has read it, nobody is passionately talking about it, who else in the public out there will talk about it? There is a connection between the passion with which we talk about things here and how the public, also consume that information. There is a relationship between transparency, accountability, the functions of Supreme Audit institutions, and the public awareness. These audits are done on behalf of the public, be the audits initiated by Supreme Audit institutions like the Auditor General, or be finalized by the Senate or Parliament. If there is no interest, if there is no passion, and the public out there do not know about it, you will find that the overall accountability that is done every 5 years when election comes does not yield result. The public out there is unaware of who misused their money. The public out there is unaware of who is not performing. The public out there keep on voting the same corrupt characters whose names litter every page of the Senate's report, every page of the National Assembly report or the County Assembly. That makes it very unfortunate, because some of these characters, some of these charlatans who are bogeymen who take public money can only ultimately be ashamed and be removed from office by the public when an opportunity to vote ensues. But when the public is not aware out there, when leadership of such institutions like the one to which we belong do not attend and passionately speak about these matters, when the newspapers ignore them, but we speak about some statements that are made here, we speak passionately about wheelbarrows and other things, we really lose it. We really lose it. The purpose for which governments were set up was to have order, law and order, to have justice, and also to offer critical services that individuals cannot offer to themselves, but must collectively be offered by an institution that is headed by people mandated by the public. Now, that is the primary function for which government was formed. And its sum total, the absence of good governance, is a total disorder, the Hobbesian disorder that would make life brutal and short. And nobody wants that. But ultimately, it is the public who put people in office, and without adequate and accurate information, I can assure you this country one day will have the worst thug for presidency, the worst thug for premiership, the worst thug for governors and anybody. And when you have thugs with power, thugs with resources, the intensity, the level of thuggery will be so much that the courts will be unable to deal with it. It will be so much that the police will not be deal with it. And even those institutions are so pervasive that they will appoint a thug for a DCI, a thug for ESCC, and a thug for Chief Justice. And then it will be, you know, a collision of thugs. A parliament that is full of thugs, executive that is full of thugs, and the judiciary that is full of thugs. And we may think that because we have the privilege of being in offices, we'll be immune from such thuggery. You will leave this office and be an ordinary person. In your own village, thugs will be in charge. So I think we must take this work very seriously, particularly on the aspect of implementation. This report, like all other reports, have amplified problems that year in, year out keep recurring. There is the problem of pending bills and non-payment of suppliers that has generally contributed to poverty, has contributed to impunity and to the suffering that is all engulfing us. The churches are now poor. They are literally begging for money from thugs. They are literally begging money from thieves. They have lost their spiritual and moral righteousness. They will go there and preach the gospel of the rich and, fail to point out.
Samahani, Senator wa Migori, unamaanisha kwamba watu wote ambao wanachangia kanisani ni wakora na wezi?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Those who have money in this country are largely thugs, and they use it for political purpose. Now, those who have money are very few, and those who have earned it honestly and have earned it fairly will give it in a very accountable manner. I live in a world in my village where I can assure you, you may go to church, not necessarily the one I go to, but to any church, and Mr. Speaker, you will find that now the sermon of that day is not anything that is nourishing you or fulfilling you spiritually. The sermon is about the generous givers, but they give nothing in spirit, or they give nothing in terms of integrity. They just bring money that they do not want to explain where it has come from. You realize the institutions that they were in charge of are all collapsing. I think that is an unfortunate situation. I do not want to name them, Mr. Speaker. I do not want to bear that burden, but we all know. We all know. You will find that a person who was just appointed to an executive position the previous year and was driving a Beetle is the owner of everything in the village where they come from. And that person, when that person was having nothing, would not even get the first seat in church. But now when they have something and 100,000, they become the best friend of the priest, the best friend of the catechist, the best friend of the imam. So that is unfortunate because our values are getting eroded and we are now worshiping and equating success to money, but not to how we change society using our leadership skills and our commitment to good governance and changing the society positively. So, Mr. Speaker, when we look at pending bills is a major cause of poverty. Today, I went to my bank, KCB, to try and find out how much I still owe the bank. I took some money from them, and I know that time is ticking. I do not want to be found not having paid the bills or the money, when the election is around the corner. And I asked them whether they still give loans. They said that they don't. Our salaries are so unstable, any organization will downsize, so they'll not give you loans. They will not give you loan because you are expecting rent. They will say that your tenants no longer pay rents. So I asked them, who are they lending? They say they are lending government. So you can imagine they are not giving loans to individuals, they are giving loans to government, and we are also not paying those individuals. You are not being paid in your village, Mr. Speaker. Your people are not being paid, and they are not being loaned. If we really knew what these people are going through, we really would pay them like yesterday, they are pending bills. These pending bills are a menace. People in Migori, quite a number have committed suicide. Quite a number have become destitute because what they had spent their life saving on, which they used for security, have been auctioned. All those things are no longer theirs, are no longer in their possession. So we cannot have a government, county or national, that is the biggest defaulter when it comes to supporting business. You take their money, you take the services that they have offered and refuse to pay, then you start arguing with them for time without end, talking about verification, bringing some experts. You may be a governor who is new in office. Your predecessor is the one who offered support for those companies. Then you come to office, get into a swivel chair and say, I want to pay those. If you really knew what those fellas went through, how many people they owe, what that money would do to your economy, you would not talk about that. Maybe since there is no law to shoot and kill them, somebody who has the power to do it beyond the law should do it, which is God, who is God. So really, that is really, really bad. Owing people, and with impunity, you tell them to go to court, you use public money to beat them in court, they all become destitute because you are a governor, because you are the head of a ministry or the head of parastatal. That is cruelty that should be painfully paid for by God. And I pray that God is listening to us, and I know he does. Vengeance is his, and he should visit such vengeance on those people. People are all salary. People have worked for time without end. They are not getting paid. It is unfortunate that this issue of pending bills is an issue that county governments are not sensitive to. County governments do not comply with the basic statutory requirements. For instance, all these county governments in these reports are not remitting money for pensions, NHIF. They are not remitting anything. They do not know that you as a governor, you have money, but your clansmen, your children, your relatives, people who voted for you, you are not remitting those monies. How do you think they will survive? You claim that there were no disbursements, but you keep on, as a governor, renovating your house, buying new cars, doing your own things. You think you will live in perpetuity there. You really, as a governor and as an executive and as anybody in charge, ensure that pensions are remitted, or all those statutory deductions are remitted, because they were put there for a purpose. And life, or after retirement, after leaving office, then you start waiting for your dues and you can't get them. That is the time opportunistic diseases and other ailments that visit the old start visiting you. You really need your money. You really need that support. So I want to urge the county governments to read this report and pay those statutory deductions. I want to urge those governors to work very hard and promote the workers of the county, build their capacity, because governors don't deliver services. It is the workers that you have employed, their level of motivation and commitment that assist you in delivering services for which you are mandated to deliver, and that the public have resourced you and given you to the privilege to do for them. So if you do not incentivize, motivate the workers of the county, how the hell do you hope to deliver services? How the hell do you hope to discharge your duties without a motivated staff? You will find that workers are stratified or categorized as ex-local authority, ex-something. You have your political ones that you pay so well, then you leave the others out. That is a problem prevalent in Migori. That is a problem prevalent in all these counties. So I want to request them very, very, with all humility, to remember that the real and true leader is God. But because God is very busy with very big things, he gives you an opportunity through elections for people to put you in that office. Those are God's people whose services you are not rendering. So if you are doing that, I think there is no greater sin. You deceive those people that you will serve them, you take away their money, and then you do not serve them, you do not benefit anybody. When you leave that office, I think all the curses and their pain will follow you to wherever you go. You want to retire as a governor or as an executive, and you want to retire in peace. People should remember your tenure with nostalgia. People should remember your tenure with, sweetness, the beauty with which you serve the people. You must not go and stonewall yourself in some village where you are hiding in a palatial home that you built using stolen money. You should be free to walk to your local church, to your market, and they say that was the greatest governor who headed this county during his tenure. I think that is the legacy that people should live. The legacy of love, the legacy of being missed, not the legacy of saying I was the first governor and it is important, when nobody will ever remember what you did. They'll just remember that you are the first and the most notorious and the most hated governor during that time. And that memory perhaps may be a curse to your family. I want to conclude, Mr. Speaker, by saying that as a parliament, we need to have an audit office here. There are certain matters that when the Auditor General does them, they cannot reopen it. There are certain matters where our colleagues and ourselves in those committees do not have the expertise. We need professionals in that audit office to be able to go and verify some of those lingering questions so that we have a report that has integrity, we have a report that is accurate, and a report that will not invite unnecessary challenges.
Patie dakika zingine 2-3.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A report that will be unanimously supported by all sides of the House. Now, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say finally that the biggest oversight is carried out by citizens. The biggest accountability is done to the citizens. And we, as an institution, we and other institutions charged with a similar mandate must promote a very close linkage between our work and the citizens out there. The citizens in my side of the world, whenever I go, they ask me why there are no roads in my village and why there are no schools in my village. I tell them that I do some work called oversight, and they ask me whether that oversight work is edible or it can also be part of the medical bills or school fees that they want. So they really, because there is no linkage, there is no civic education, do not understand the integral part of that work so that they can use it to evaluate, to assess, and even think whether to vote back a particular administration. So that link that has been disconnected between our work and the citizen is a link that must be reconnected. How this House, how the National Executive does it, we must think of. We must think of how to resource that aspect so that this report that do not just give us an opportunity to talk and continue talking, but is also linked to the citizens' knowledge. It is linked to the mainstream media and the social media so that it is very clear that in an objective evaluation of the work, that a certain county or national government in a certain department did the following wrong things, and it becomes an issue in the election. Mr. Speaker, I've spoken too much, and you have been generous to give me extended time. I want to thank you for that extension, and I want to sit back and pray for you and the people of Kiambu, and specifically Ruiru. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Senator, natumai utakuja kuwa gavana wa Migori, kwa sababu umezungumza leo kama gavana ambaye ana maono makubwa, ama gavana mtarajiwa, na fauka ya hayo umezungumza kama muumini mzuri sana na ambaye angependa kuhakikisha kwamba maadili ya Mungu yamefuata. Nafikiri nimefurahi kusikia ukisema kwamba uongozi bora utoka kwa Mungu, na ni vyema sisi kama viongozi kuhakikisha kwamba tuna enzi kwamba ni majukumu tumetunukiwa ama ni heshima kubwa, na tusiweze kuwadhulumu wale ambao wako chini yetu kwa sababu ya mirengo ya kisiasa. Sasa hivi nitampa nafasi seneta wa watu wenye ulemavu, Seneta Gertrude Musuruve Inima, aweze pia kuchangia hoja hii.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity.
Na samahani kwa sababu muda umeyoma sana, nafikiri uchukue kama dakika 7 hivi uweze kumalizia.
Thank you for the opportunity you've given me to add my voice in supporting this report. I congratulate the team of Senator Kajwang for coming up with this report. And it is good because this is a report that will be seen by very many...
Samahani Senator, nimeelekezwa kwamba unaweza kuchukua tu muda wako wote kwa sababu hatumalizii huu mjadala sasa hivi.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank you also for the extension of time. Thank you. I want to thank Senator Kajwang and his team for coming up with this report, because a report is a document that is now in the history of many other documents, and it is possible for anyone, even after some years, to look at this report and see exactly what transpired in the year 2014, 2015 financial years. So the team has done a commendable job in coming up with this report, because it is now a permanent document that can be availed to even citizens for people to read and see what exactly happened. Now, coming up with an audit report is very important, and it is important because it is the audit report that is supposed to even show how the county executives, utilize the amounts of money they were given. The audit report will show how much was given, how it was utilized, and if there is anything that is amiss, then the audit report will not be a favorable one. But a good audit report already speaks something about county executives. It speaks how, wise they were with regard to use of money. It speaks about how, they used wisdom in, dealing with public monies and all that. So an audit report is a report that is very informative. And since it is a report that is very informative, it's supposed to be very transparent. It shows how transparent people were or how transparent they were not. And this is very important. Every county needs to really have an yearly budget. When county executives get money, of course our business as a Senate is to ensure that money goes to the counties. And when money goes to the counties, it is actually our desire that the money reaches the common man, and that there is service delivery to each and every person in the county. So that is why we allocate money to go to the counties and we approve. So it is just important that an audit report is done, accounts are audited to ensure that the money that goes to the counties are monies that have been spent very well, and they are monies that have been, giving a service to wananchi. Now, before counties begin working on the money that they've been given, it is just important and necessary that county governments, county executives have an yearly plan. And in the yearly plan, they should be able to come up with projects that need to be prioritized. And these projects can, can be prioritized very well if there's public participation, so that the public is aware. This amount of money has come to the county. And since it has come to the county, there are needs. So public participation is very important, even before the county executives begin using or utilizing the money that has gone to the counties. And if there are any pending bills, then they should come out clearly why there are pending bills. And if there are any pending bills, then an investigation also, an audit investigation should be able to state whether these pending bills, if there are any contracts that were given, were actually completed. If there is any work that was done, if there is any work that was allocated, was the work completed for the pending bills to be there? Because if there are pending bills, then it means that a project that was allocated has been completed up to the very end. It is unfortunate that sometimes you go to counties, you find that a hospital is being constructed this year, next year it is not complete, the other year it's not complete, and money is still being allocated for the purpose of constructing hospitals, or even schools. You find that a school was being constructed, it is not complete this year, next year again money is allocated for education, the infrastructure and all that. You find the same buildings have also not been complete. So an audit report should really come out to tell whether counties have been utilizing monies well. And even when county governors come to the Senate, their coming should not be seen negatively, because it's just a matter of explaining, yourself that this money, yes, it came, but there were pending bills, and the bills that were pending were from the last year and all that, so that there's a reconciliation between the money that were given and the audit report and so on. And even the auditors should also begin to find out, if there are any contracts that were given to persons with disabilities. Because, there's a policy that persons with disabilities should actually be given a certain percentage, about 30% of the monies, of the contracts that are in counties. So the audit report should also be able to show, and I don't know whether Senator Kajwang, the audit report showed how many contracts were given to persons with disabilities, how many organizations, and how much was paid, and all that, because it is very important. We talk about procurement process, we talk about persons with disabilities being given priority, but when it comes to the real issue, you find that even the little fraction that is meant for persons with disabilities, they're not given the contract. So the audit report should come out clearly to show whether persons with disabilities were given any contracts. And if they're not given contracts, even when governors come to the floor of this house, even when they come before the investment committee, the investment committee should also ask them, did you give any tenders to persons with disabilities? Did you even pay them and all that? It is important so that persons with disabilities are not left behind, because there are so many persons with disabilities who want to make a living. But when it comes to issues of procurement and all that, it becomes an issue because they are actually not given the opportunity. And what persons with disabilities lack in this country and many other countries, and I must say candidly, is the opportunity. Once they are given an opportunity even for business, it will be very possible for people to see that persons with disabilities can procure and can do serious business. If they're given even an opportunity for a job, they can be able to show everyone that they're able to perform just like any other person or even better. So opportunities should be given to persons with disabilities. Even when it comes to issues of procurement, opportunities should should be given to persons with disabilities. Even when it comes to tenders in county governments, opportunities should be given. Even when it comes to sitting in boards, when it comes to public service boards, when it comes to whichever boards, at least persons with disabilities should be there so that they can be able to front issues of disability. Because when it comes to issues of equitability and, giving procurements and also where money is involved, persons with disabilities are usually left behind. And it is very clear that persons with disabilities, most of them die in poverty, and poverty runs, it is cyclic in their families. That someone has a disability, the children also end up being poor, and so on and so on. But we are the ones to break this cyclic nature of poverty. We can do that by ensuring that even county executives come before us and tell us what they've done for persons with disabilities, so that if there are even pending bills, and by the way, there are even persons with disabilities who have complained that they've procured goods and services, but they have not been paid. And this becomes very unfair, because you'll find that the persons with disabilities have taken a loan in order to procure the goods, they have delivered, but they have not been paid. So it is very unfair and very unreasonable not to pay someone with a disability who has really struggled to ensure that he or she takes a loan and then eventually delivers a service, and then he is not paid the service in good time, or the service even delays for even a year or so. It should not happen. There should be the prompt payment bill, in fact, is very effective, because, and it should be effected so that all people who procure services and goods to county governments are paid promptly, so that there is reward for even the efforts that people take in getting loans in order to ensure that they are delivering a service. Now, I want to say that even when it comes to projects, when public participation is being done, county executives should have an inventory. They should have an inventory of the project they want to do within a certain time frame. If they want to do 1 to 3 projects, let it be in the inventory, and let the projects be specified. And even when they're specified, there's need even for the Senate, there's even need for Parliament to make a follow-up after 6 months to find out whether what they have purpose to do, they're doing for Wananchi. So there's need even to make a follow-up, looking at the inventory and what they had planned to do and the plan they had, and then going to the ground to confirm that what is in the paper, what is on paper is also on the ground. Because sometimes there are people who are very good at doing paperwork. They'll say, we spent this million, we'll spend this and that, billions and all that. But when you go to the ground, you find that what has been done cannot be equated actually to what is on the paper. So there's need to harmonize what is on the ground and ensure that county executives are doing the right thing. So I want to thank the committee that did this, the committee of Senator Kajwang, and I support this report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Asante sana Senator Musuruve, ulikuwa bado una dakika 8 za kuendelea kuchangia, lakini tutaendelea na huu mjadala mpaka wakati huo mwingine uweze kumalizika. Lakini waheshimiwa maseneta, sasa hivi ni saa 12:30 wakati wa kusitisha kikao hiki cha bunge, na sasa tunataka kuahirisha rasmi hiki kikao cha bunge mpaka kesho Jumatano tarehe 3 Machi mwaka 2021 saa 8:30.